Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pickleball and Politics, where I combine my quest to stay out of the kitchen with my passion for politics. So I did play pickleball the other day, and it was misting, pretty good. And I kept on saying, oh, are we really going to keep on playing? Yeah, let's just do one more game. Well, one more game became two more games. And I finally said, I'm out of here. And they were like, what do you mean you're leaving? And I said, I'm not risking my life to play pickleball. I will never understand that. Why do people go through these adverse conditions to play pickleball? I guess I'm not that addicted after all. So it was a big week in politics, was it not, with them indicting Trump for yet a fourth time. And this time he had 18 fellow defendants with him. 4 or 5 are former Trump attorneys, which I find very, very strange. You know who some of the names are, but I'm going to run down them. We've got Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman, Kenneth Chesebro, Jenna Ellis, and Sidney Powell. All Trump lawyers. We also have Mark Meadows, who is his chief of staff, Jeffrey Clark, who's the Department of Justice official, Ray Smith, who's a Georgia lawyer, Robert Cheeley, a Georgia lawyer. If I say some of these names are wrong, please forgive me. Michael Roman, who is a White House aide, David Schaefer, who is the chairman of the Georgia GOP, Sean Still, Georgia GOP member, Stephen Lee, a Georgia pastor, Harrison Floyd, who's the director of Black Voices for Trump, Trevian Kuti, a publicist, Kathy Latham, a Georgia Republican, Scott Hall, not the wrestler, Atlanta Bails bondsman, and Misty Hampton, who is a local elections director. So my question is, et Brute? Et Brute. If you know, that is a famous line from Julius Ceasar. And you too, Brutus? You too? And when I saw this list, I started to sort of wonder. I've heard stories in the past of people becoming bankrupt trying to fight this administrative state, deep state prosecution. They bankrupt people. They go after them financially. They destroy them financially with law bills. And I started thinking to myself, who will be the first one? Who will be the first one that is going to turn on Trump? Will it be Mark Meadows? Will it be Rudy Giuliani? Word came out recently that Giuliani went down to Mar-a-Lago to see if he could have any of his legal funds, which are mounting millions of dollars now, Rudy Giuliani has in legal fees. I'm sure every one of these people, especially an Atlanta bails bondsman and a publicist, a local elections director, these aren't people with a whole lot of funds behind them. How are all of their law fees and their legal fees going to be covered? At some point, I fear somebody is going to give it up. Somebody is going to give up. Donald Trump is going to say something so incriminating, they're going to get off. And somehow their legal fees will be covered. That's my main fear with all of this, is et Brute. Who will turn on Trump? He has 18 other defendants. Law of averages. I feel so uncomfortable about all of these charges in Georgia because there are just too many low-hanging fruits. Local election officials. These aren't people with a lot of money. They're going after a bunch of local election officials in Michigan. Everybody's in their 70s. They could go away for a decade. Again, not people with big bankrolls and a lot of money that can fight this. That is what my main fear is who is going to turn on Trump. And I am afraid. I hope absolutely to the bottom of my heart that none of these people turn on Trump. I really, really do. I hope no one turns on him. Just on mere principle. That it's obvious they are going after him for no other reason, but he dares run again. I believe if Donald Trump just went back to Mar-a-Lago and just played some golf and didn't get involved in politics anymore, that none of this would be happening. But because he dares to once again run for president, they're going after him. And they're going after him with all guns a-blazing. And so my question is, et tu, Brute? Because I truly fear that someone is going to turn on him. And they're going to save themselves, maybe. And they're going to give up all these other people. It should be interesting how this plays out. And I don't think any of it is good for this country. No matter what side of the aisle you stand on, I hope you don't think any of this is good. Because this is horrible. This is horrible for our country. I end every episode with the dink of the day. And the dink of the day is, of course, Fani WIllis, who's the Fulton County District Attorney for bringing these charges. And for the clerk's office, who released all of the affidavit and the indictment before the grand jury had even voted on this. Proof that it was all already planned. You can reach me on Getter at Pickleball and Politics, on Instagram at Pickleball and Politics, on the big X, the new X. I don't think the X is a good rebranding. Twitter at Pickle and Paul. You can go to my YouTube channel where you might be right now, Pickleball and Politics, or go to my website, pickleballandpolitics.com. Et tu, Brute? Et tu, Brute? You too? I hope no one turns. Until next time. Thanks for joining me on Pickleball and Politics.